Hey guys, so welcome back to another episode of my pre-funding phase. Now, if you don't know what the pre-funding phase is, it's basically me trying to put on the rules that you normally find on a typical program onto a demo account, and I try to pass that demo account following the program rules. Now, I've done this before where I drew $100,000 simulated account trading within the rules you find in a prop firm. So that means no news trading. I stuck to proper risk management by risking 1% per trade and all those type of things. And I was able to grow the accounts by about 12%, which is if you combine both phase one and phase two, which is 8% for phase one, 5% for phase two, you have about 13%. But I decided to stop it here because this challenge more or less passed because I mistakenly took a trade on it that would have been a winning trade on this separate account over here. So this $2,000 is actually meant to be over here. So that's why it's 12,000 and not 14,000. So yeah, so that I decided to count that this challenge has passed, and to make sure it wasn't a fluke, I decided to open up another challenge. That is what I'm currently doing now, and this time I'm documenting it. That's documenting it on YouTube. That's the pre-funding phase, and currently we're in drawdown. Yeah, this time I'm simulating a $5,000 account, following all the prop firm rules. I'm using Good Funded Trader prop firm because that's the prop firm I plan on getting later in the future. And currently we're in drawdown, and we just took a loss this morning, yeah, on GBPJPY, and that's what I want to analyze for you guys today. So I'm using the 5 minutes time frame. I saw it around 8 a.m. this morning, and I saw that it was a really, really neat setup. We have the first of all, we're trending downwards. Yeah, we're moving downwards on a 5 minutes time frame, and I was like, okay, I'm only looking for sales because we're only selling a downtrend. And I saw my setup over here, liquidity supply and demand. Like I've said before, we basically wait for a structure like this, wait for liquidity to be created here, um, then wait for a sweep of that liquidity and a tap into either a supply or demand zone depending on the trend. Then you basically just enter after our confirmation, then continue the trend on enter the trade in continuation with the trend basically. So that's what happened here. So liquidity was created after liquidity took out its own low over here, and price swept the liquidity, tapped into my supply zone, and gave me my confirmation signal. I just want to see a bearish rejection from this supply zone. Now, if price closes into this supply zone, then it will not be valid for me to take. When I see my confirmation, I always want to see rejections from it. I don't want to see a close inside that zone. So that this one metric makes me to filter out a lot of trades that I would have taken and would have eventually ended up in a loss. So price gave me my entry signal, this bullish pin bar, and I entered around here on this candle. My stop loss was around 7.7 pips. My RR, my risk to reward was around 2.5 here. And why did I pick a 2.5 risk to reward? It's because of the size of my stop loss. The size of my stop loss this determines the risk to reward I'm aiming for. Any stop loss size greater than 10 would warrant me to go for a risk reward of just 2. But if my stop loss was smaller, less than 5 pips, then my risk reward can be 4 RR or greater. After I entered, you can see what price was doing over here. Price gave me a really, really good reaction. I thought I was going to be done for the day. Then, as it almost came halfway to TP, price went up, scared me a little, then gave me a little bit of hope as it came back here. Then once I started seeing this bullish rejection, I was like, and this bullish engulfing, I was starting to lose hope, and eventually price came up and stopped me out. And that was this is actually a very, very valid loss because I followed this trade setup, met all my criteria, fell within the optimal trading time London session on GBPJPY, and it still lost. So it shows that even the best strategies, no matter how good your strategy is still going to have losing days or losing periods, even when all the boxes are checked. I don't think I made any mistake while entering this trade. Yeah. So you can see that there's another supply zone here, but first of all, I would never have entered this because I only take one trade per day, no matter the outcome. And since it's ended up in a loss, I will not have taken this even if it has given me my confirmation. And secondly, this would this didn't give me my entry criteria, the bearish rejection. If I don't see that bearish rejection after after tapping into that zone, I don't enter the trade. But if you are someone that just entered the limit order now, which is what I used to do in the past, this would have just ended up in straight up loss. I have had two losing trades in a row, which can be very, very frustrating. So this zone was it looked good on the surface, but if you have a confirmation signal, there's no way in hell you would have taken this trade. And see that as soon as price closed inside this zone, it just made this zone immediately invalid for me and not even consider taking it at all. So that's just a trade breakdown I wanted to show you guys about my strategy. And yeah, an update on the pre-funding phase. Currently we are in drawdown, but not so much. I risked $40 on this trade and ended up in loss, but I'm sure we are going to pass it sooner or later. I just need around four winning trades, four good trade setups, and boom, I'll pass this and I'll get a new prop firm. Hopefully, next month, by God's grace, and I'll record me passing down so that you can all watch the process. And yeah, so that's it, guys. Catch you guys in another video. Subscribe for more, and please join my free Telegram channel. The link is in my description. And also, yeah, subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you want more of this type of content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.